What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another episode of our Penny Dreadful Master Series. A look back at the past and present top decks of our Penny Dreadful format. So, our last list, we're going to talk about Briar Monster's Cruel Control deck, aka Need for Cruelty, aka Living Lore Cruel Ultimatum combo esque deck. Um, you know, gathering and leagues are two different things, and for me, I don't know. Like the gathering tournaments are, I don't know. I won't say more prestigious, but they do. It's a good measure of like how you kind of stack up against like a random field, especially since with gathering you don't really know what to expect. The leagues you can kind of like see the deck list, which is kind of like a thing of controversy right now. But the gathering tournaments you kind of just have to play and you have to win. That's it really. And Briar Moss is a guy. He's been around for a very long time. He's been around all the way from season maybe like 2 to 3. I'm sure where he started, but I've always, let's say, my time in this format, he's been brewing crazy decks. I've seen crazy lists from him. Such ridiculous sort of piles of cards. Maybe you've seen things like he was playing from everything from like blue black what card he was playing, Battlefield Thaumaturge, to he was playing the blue black inspired deck. He's made so many wacky builds, and this is one of the wackier builds. And it's something that's not really that new. But he took something old and made it slightly better. It's Living Lore Cruel Ultimatum. This was all the way, like I said, if you kind of been following this episode, all the way back in season 1. This was a season 1 deck, but he's kind of tuned it up a bit with Living Lore Cruel Ultimatum. He can pull off as early as turn like 2 or 3. Even with Dark Rituals. I think the big innovation that he kind of threw in there is Need for Speed, which lets him sacrifice land and give creatures haste. And like I said, it's not his first time playing this deck. Even in season 4, when it was sort of legal, it created a bit of controversy because Living Lore's weird bug with split spells like Far and Away, which makes double mana. So in a way that he was innovative, in a way that we had to relook at the way we kind of quote unquote ban cards. So which kind of made the way of like advantageous or disadvantageous bugs. So basically, he just promised never to use Living Lore on a split card, and that's kind of the way it works now. So the only two real targets he ever uses I see is Cruel Ultimatums or Treasure Cruises, because you make big 8/8s or 7/7s or whatever. So Living Lore is such a staple of this card. It doesn't even need to connect with your opponent. It just needs to deal combat damage, which is kind of silly. So if you block it, you're gonna get hit with a Cruel or Treasure Cruise, and then once you get hit with the Cruel, it just loops back, it gets the Living Lore back, and you just keep going over and over again. That's kind of what the whole deck is sort of based around. And at worst, if you're not doing Living Lore Cruel Ultimatum, you just get hit with Cruel Ultimatum. And that's what's nuts about it. Like Cathartic Union, kind of like, and Coastal Research kind of filter through the deck and also dump the Cruel Ultimatum in the yard. There's a couple of like early reactionary spells. Revolutionary Rebuff, not the best counter spell, but we don't even have Negate in this format this season. So this will have to do Ultimate Price, Pyroclasm, just kind of cheap removal. Destruction Spectre kind of just annoys your opponent for a while. Blocks, has Unearth, so it's also good when you discard it. It's a very annoying card. You would think it wouldn't be as annoying, but it really is. Far and Away, Darling Spell in the black-esque decks, as is Consigned Oblivion, which has been really big. Deals with like pesky permanents like Necropotence, just like other enchantments. And I think the sideboard's a big innovation that Briar Moss has done. Even like splashing for Compost, which is a direct response to the black decks. Persecute, again, you're black and you have Dark Ritual, you might as well play it. Withered Wretch was a really big, it's really against like the Reanimator decks. A little couple smells just for artifacts, Pyroclasm, for more of the smaller, weenie sort of creature decks that kind of annoy this deck. A couple flash freezes for the green decks. And what I said about dominance in this deck, I think to this date, Briar Moss has won 6 tournaments on Gathering with this deck. 5 in a row at one point. Like, he would play every tournament and won every one. 5 of them. With this deck. So, his dominance has been very high in the season. So, he gets massive praise here. And he deserves to be one of the Penny Dreadful Masters. This deck has been pretty good. It's not unbeatable, but it's just a really good deck. I've definitely beaten this deck. Haha. But certainly his accomplishments can't be ignored. It's been such a really good deck, and it's been a really good season where these kind of like crazy 3-color decks have been prevalent and dominant. So shout out to you, Briar Moss. That's gonna wrap up for this episode. In our next episode, we're gonna get right into gameplay. So you're gonna see the brackets of our little exhibition tournament for our Paint Travel Master Series. And you're gonna see some gameplay. How do these decks kind of fare against each other, old versus new? We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next episode.